members of community-based organizations, representatives of business entrepreneurs, micro, small, and medium enterprises, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. This is yet another occasion when I have, with my economic team, listened, participated, engaged, and shared ideas with members and citizens from Western Kenya, the 4 counties of Western Kenya. Members of my economic team here led by Professor Ndi, Dr. Sienga, Agustin Cheruyot, Mr. Mugambi, representing my economic team. We've engaged with leaders and representatives from Western Kenya since yesterday as part of the continuing conversation in our country about the economy. We did promise the country several months ago that it was our intention to change the conversation so that the political discourse in our country should be moved away from ethnicity and leaders to the realm of the economy and ordinary people. That is where we purpose, and that is where we intend to keep this conversation, at the ordinary people's level and on matters economy. As part of that engagement, the bottom-up economic model is backed by the bottom-up governance model. That is why this engagement today is a culmination of engagements at different levels in various parts of Western Kenya with different actors from the society. After this engagement, we are going to prepare a paper, again, that will be validated back at the grassroots by traders, business people, people in our markets, farmers in our farms, and all ordinary citizens, so that they can inform the governance model and the economic model that we are going to use as part of the agenda setting exercise we have in our country. It is our intention to move the country from voting for personalities to voting for an agenda. For a very long time, our country was held hostage to personality cults. We want to liberate our country from the bondage of personality cults to the freedom of issues and plans and programs and an agenda that benefits not just a few, but the wholesome citizenry of the Republic of Kenya. In the discussions that we have had with this team from Western Kenya, we have found a lot of value in the information, the ideas, and the suggestions that they have made that will not only inform what happens to the economy in Western Kenya, but that will inform the general policy and framework of the economy of Kenya. I want to very sincerely thank the many technocrats from Western Kenya and other areas, professors, business people who have made their voluntary contribution without pay, knowing very well that they are contributing as part of their patriotic duty in ensuring that Kenya moves to the next level. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for finding it worthy to contribute your talent and your expertise and your knowledge to enrich the conversation that we are having in our country. I have, with my economic team, already had consultations with leaders and business people from Mount Kenya, leaders and stakeholders from the coast, stakeholders, leaders and business people from the Nyanza region. Today we are having it with Western, the next we are going to have it with Rift Valley, we are going to have it with Northeastern, and we are going to have it with Lower Eastern, so that we can consolidate a framework and a blueprint that will take the conversation in Kenya to the level where we are discussing how we will create opportunity or a nation that gives opportunity, equal opportunity at that, to every citizen. And where progress and success is not measured by where you come from, who you know, the networks you have, but it is measured by how hard and how creative and innovative you are. I am delighted that progressively the country, the whole country at that, including all the leaders, have now come to the realization that the economic conversation in our nation is the conversation that the citizens, the young people, the business people, and every Kenyan wants to have an engagement about. In our meeting here, the young people were robustly represented. And in our programs, we have put the young people of our nation with their knowledge, their energy, their expertise, their aspirations and dreams at the center of this economic conversation. We believe that the young people of our nation, the youth, are the largest stakeholders, if not owners, of our future. And they must have and occupy the largest space in the conversation that we are going to have. We have agreed as a team that this economic conversation is going to be informed by the realities of our country today, that we have 4 million young people who are either unemployed or underemployed. It's going to be informed by the reality that we have close to 8 million people who are entrepreneurs at micro, at small, and they are all operating below their potential because the environment, the financial environment, the credit environment, the policy, legislative environment is not favorable to them. We've made this conversation also under the realization that almost 50% of our GDP is a contribution from the agricultural sector with its linkages. And influencing productivity and production in the agricultural sector will not only give us opportunities to enhance incomes to farmers, but through value addition, agro-processing, manufacturing, and industrialization, we can realize the creation of value, the creation of jobs, and the creation of wealth. Through this effort, collectively, we have in detail assessed Western Kenya. And we have brought to the attention of these leaders that there are glaring opportunities in Western Kenya. Western Kenya that contributes or that accounts for almost 10% of our population contributes 6.8% to our GDP, meaning that their contribution is 30% below what they should be contributing to our GDP. We think there is opportunity there to make sure that Western Kenya contributes its fair and rightful contribution to our GDP. We have also identified areas that need urgent intervention so that we can bring the contribution of Western Kenya to the level of the contribution of other areas of our nation. The whole edible oil industry, that is about 80 billion shilling industry that can grow to double that size, can be an opportunity for Western Kenya. All the way from soya to palm oil to sesame to cotton and the nut and oil crops. Today, we import 90% of edible oils. In fact, it is the second largest import after crude oil to our republic. And it can be, we can replace the 90% import of edible oil by taking advantage of what Western Kenya, of the opportunity in Western Kenya. We have all the other sectors that we have discussed, and I am very confident that the document that will result from the consultations of this meeting, that will, as I said, go back for validation by ordinary people at the grassroots, will be a document that will take this country to the next level, both in terms of creating opportunities for jobs, creating value, creating wealth, so that we can deal decisively with the challenge, the twin challenge of unemployment and poverty. I am persuaded that the country is ready for this new conversation. Every part of Kenya, every citizen in our republic wants to know how their ideas, how their suggestions can become part of the nation's way forward. And I want to invite all Kenyans into this conversation. I know many of the other leaders have engaged in the economic conversation in different ways. I want to encourage them that in whatever way, even by opposing, it is still part of the conversation. It will help enrich and inform this conversation, because it is about the only conversation that will take Kenya into the future. I want to say, for the avoidance of doubt, that it is not true that there are problems in Kenya between Kenyans. A Kenyan from Western Kenya has no problem with a Kenyan from Western or from Rift Valley or from Central Kenya or from Coast. The collective problem we have is the status of our economy. If the economy can create the jobs, if the economy can create the wealth, if the economy can create the opportunities, we will sort out all the issues that face all our young people. And we can also broaden and increase the number of taxpayers so that we can not only have sufficient resources to finance our development, but we can begin to retire the huge debts that are now part of the conversation in Kenya. I dare say that the most practical way of eliminating the debt challenge that we have is not postponing or rescheduling or doing all the other things that all the other people are suggesting. It is by expanding the tax base, ensuring that we have more young people employed, more enterprises growing. They will pay their fair share of taxes. We will have money to finance our development, and we will have money to pay our debts. Thank you very much. I think we have been as clear as we can get.